Hi, I'm Obadard here with LoanSafe.org and RealEstateSmart.tv. You have a question in regards to your mortgage and if it's a TILA violation. And what I wanted to do is share this with the YouTube community as well and see if I could help you with your problem. Let me see what I could do. Thanks. Okay, I wanted to go over your story a little bit here and answer your question and share this with my YouTube viewers out there with Real Estate Smart TV. I'm not going to say everything verbatim, but kind of go over the meat and potatoes of your story and your question. And I will go ahead and repeat what you're saying here. It says, okay, I hope this makes sense because I could really use some advice. In 2008, we contracted with a builder to build a custom home that was supposed to be finished December 2008. During the process, we put in about $30,000. $5,000 down payment, some things we paid for along the way, and some of the overages. Fast forward 2009, our builder goes under. He has pulled 90% of the home loan and paid no one basically. He files for bankruptcy. The bank that held the construction loan that was in the builder's name agrees to honor his contract and finish the house for us. So let's go ahead and scroll down just a little bit more to the loan part. In August of 2009, we harassed the bank and his handyman so much that we were able to get a certificate of occupancy and let us move in so we weren't homeless. However, the house isn't finished. In September, we prepared to close. There were still drainage issues, electrical problems, our deck isn't screened, etc. New Washington assures us all will be fixed. 3 days before we are to close, New Washington tells us the figures don't add up, that basically we need to come up with about $9,000 more to close escrow. Initially, we had been told everything we put in the house money-wise would go towards our down payment. So you didn't have a clue what the $9,000 was for, but under the stress you agree to pay that, which you state right here, and you write a cashier's check. In any event, you've been battling to get the repairs fixed, and you scroll down here to the end of your story, and what you're saying is your dream house has turned into a money pit. In 2011, we said enough is enough and stopped paying our mortgage. We have tried to work it out with Wells Fargo, who now owns our mortgage, to no avail. In October, they filed suit for foreclosure. We responded and requested mediation and haven't heard anything back. We were referred to Hope for Homeowners out of Cincinnati, Ohio by the court, and we will meet with their person tonight. Do we have a case? Ultimately, what I would like is a reduction in principal covered all the needed repairs. Is that even possible? In reading the boards, I've learned that there are defenses to use in fighting back. However, we can't find an attorney in southern Indiana who handles foreclosures. They all just want to file bankruptcy. Any advice would be greatly appreciated. Thank you, CC. All right. Basically, my answer, understand that I'm not a lawyer, but I've been around many lawyers and I've studied many mortgages, and I'm pretty familiar with how the Truth in Lending Act works, which is TILA, of course. And basically what I see here with your issues is you kind of got scammed by that builder. And what happened is the bank kind of got left holding the bag, and they kind of mismanaged you guys during the process. So I don't really look at it as a TILA violation, but you never know. You might have some, fraud or Truth in Lending Act violations on your mortgage. The only way to find out for sure is to have your mortgage audited by a professional, and preferably by a professional that is hired by a law firm and works hand in hand with a law firm. If not, that lawyer is a professional and could audit that mortgage for you, which is really rare, and you're not going to find that in many states. Lawyers that are really familiar with mortgages, the Truth in Lending Act, and stuff like that. And as you said, a lot of the lawyers, their answer is to, file bankruptcy. And you got to remember, lawyers are salesmen too. They have a product to sell, and it's whatever they are practicing at the time. And mortgages are hard, and the Truth in Lending Act and anything dealing with the foreclosure defense is really a difficult defense to fight. So you don't have a lot of lawyers that are using the Truth in Lending Act or mortgage law or anything to help homeowners as far as foreclosure defense. But you never know as far as if your loan might have some violations on it. So if you're really hell-bent on fighting the bank and you feel you got screwed, you might as well get an audit. But again, it's going to be hard to find someone that's going to be able to audit you probably close by there. And you don't want to really use anybody out of state, because if you get an audit and you don't have an attorney there in that state to help you with that audit, it's really almost going to be useless. So you want to make sure that if you do this, that it's someone that is in your state and it's a law firm and that can go to court. Because if you get an audit and you have violations, but you don't have a lawyer fighting for you, you're not willing to go to court, the bank's going to know this, and the mortgage servicer. So if you say, hey, my mortgage got violations, and you show them this audit, but you don't have an attorney behind you or anything, they're going to say screw you. Or even if you do, they may say screw you too, and see, hey, what are you going to do about it? And then you got to go to court, and it can be a lengthy process, because nothing's guaranteed right away, and you're going to have to pay for that lawyer to go to court for you. So it's really a difficult process. But when I look at it just based on your story, it looks like that builder kind of screwed you and scammed you and took all the money and paid whatever bills he had and everything, and then claimed bankruptcy and left everybody else holding the bag. And there's a lot of developers and builders that have done that and continue to do that. So it's really a sad state of affairs that we have now, and I hope that you could work this out and you find a way out of this. But it sounds like you might want to look into bankruptcy possible. You might want to get an audit of your mortgage. But based on what you had said, it's really kind of high pressure sales tactics, and someone that scammed you with your builder, with your home. So anyways, good luck. If you have any more questions, please let me know. And the best thing to do is look at your state bar if you're looking for an attorney. That you said you were in Virginia, I believe, the Virginia State Bar, and see if they can refer anyone to you. Good luck. Take care. Bye.